everybody. This is Daniel Flowerdew here. It's a beautiful sunny day. I'm at my friend's property, and I chose this spot in particular to do this reading because right behind me there is a large elderberry bush. Honestly, this entire property is so beautiful, and there are limitless places I could go to, and I probably could have picked a spot that had better lighting where I don't have one eye that's all blackened out and I'm squinting because I can't see. But, you know, I felt like this was a good spot for today, so let's just all let our hair down, take a few deep breaths as we really connect in with our own hardcore star energy, our own inner integrity and magic. And you know, one thing I like to always say with these tarot videos, especially since I do so few of them, is that whenever you are guided to listen to it, it is going to be appropriate for you at that time. And that has been true, hands down. I'll have people contact me. Actually, I had one person contact me yesterday, and they were like, I just really wanted to listen to the first tarot reading video you ever did. First time ever going onto my YouTube channel. You know, she's never seen any of the information before, and she watched it and she told me, it's like, this is the first time I've watched it and it was dead on accurate for what I needed to hear right now. And I was so touched. It's like, that's what I want to do. That's what I'm here to do. And in those moments where it works out like that, it's an honor. It's an honor to be a part of that. So let's get rocking and rolling. So I have a few decks that I have with me today. One of them is a gift from a friend that I wanted to use. It's called Whispering Woods. It's a very simple, short deck, and this is more of an oracle card deck more than a tarot. I also have another deck here that I recently bought. This is also an oracle card deck. For those who are unaware, the easiest way I can describe the difference between a tarot and an oracle card deck is tarot is for more figuring out the patterns and the steps, right? Figuring out how things are laid out right now, right? The different factors around you and within you. To whereas the oracle card deck is normally very simple, short advice that is always timely, it's always appropriate. But that's the main difference. The tarot is more putting the puzzle pieces together, to whereas the oracle card deck is more receiving guidance for the moment. It's simpler. Normally an oracle card deck reading is 1 to 2 cards, to whereas a tarot card reading can be up to 75, because there's 75 cards in a deck. And I've seen people do that. It takes a long time to get through those readings. So the other oracle card deck I have here, it's called Thistle Down, and this is from Stephanie Burrows and illustrated by Adam Oehlersand. I apologize if I mispronounce it. If you even watch this, you might not watch it, I don't know. But yeah, this group in particular, they have made 2 other decks that I just absolutely love. They are right now coming out with a new tarot deck. The artwork is so beautiful, and everything they do is very eco-friendly. So very appropriate for being out in the woods. Speaking of which, since I'm outside, there is going to be a lot of wind and natural sounds. There's chickens that live right over there, wind chimes right over there. I was going to say they feel like they're right behind me, but they're kind of to the side. So if there's ever a moment that you can't understand what I'm saying, just take a deep breath and trust that your Suma knows, okay? Now, the other deck I have with me, this is not my deck. This belongs to my friend that I'm staying with, in particular her husband, and this is the Voyager tarot deck. It is a beautiful deck. It's not one that I normally use for myself, just because I generally feel as though the cards themselves are very chaotic. There's a ton of symbology. They're beautiful and they're wonderful and they have a great vibe, but it's just not normally what I'm called to do. The reason why I'm using it today is because it's what I have available. You know, there's a wisdom to that, really. I was just out collecting a ton of nettles. And if you aren't aware, nettles themselves are highly medicinal. They are outstanding and are even considered by many to be a superfood because of the different vitamins and minerals and the chemical constituents of the plant that the plant comes with naturally. However, when you harvest it, or if you get too close to it, it has the proclivity to sting, right? But what nature does is, next to the nettle plants, wherever they grow, there's always another herb next to it that's available to be used that soothes that pain, that soothes that discomfort. And while I was out there collecting it, I found a bunch of these beautiful white flowers, and I believe the name was Siberian Spring Beauty. It's a type of purslane, and purslane itself is known for tons of medicinal qualities as well, one of them being soothing the skin. So one thing that nature reminds us, and one thing that I was reminded of today, is whatever is around us at that time is going to be good. It's going to be useful. It's going to have different qualities to it that we're probably not aware of until we need it or use it, right? So let's get into the cards today, okay? As you can tell, I'm in kind of a gentle mood today. It's been a beautiful day. I've spent half an hour collecting nettles by hand. You know, I didn't use scissors. So that stinging I was telling you about, my fingertips are kind of burning right now, and same with the back of my fingers because, you know, they were touching the back of the leaves. It's not painful. It's not bad. It is very noticeable. I would say that. It's very noticeable. But the sting itself has a ton of medicinal qualities too, and has even been shown to help people with arthritis. So I don't have arthritis, but it's just an example to kind of explain some of the medicinal qualities. So since I'm in kind of a woodsy vibe today, let's start off with the small tarot deck or oracle card deck from my friend called The Whispering Woods, Enchanting Secrets from the Forest by Jessica Lee. And, you know, it's just such a cute little box. I mean, this thing is so tiny, you know, just looking at it in my hand, like, I think it's one of my smallest decks. And the friend that gave it to me, I used to go out hiking with them all the time. We have tons of amazing, beautiful experiences. And right now they live about a 20-hour drive away. So they sent this to me, I believe, as a part of my landing day gift, you know, the birthday gift. But they send me just little random letters all the time, and it just makes my heart sing whenever I receive any contact from them. Absolutely beautiful soul, and if you're watching this, hi, you know who you are. Okay, so let's just all take a few good deep breaths. Let's breathe in, filling up our heart core stars with authentic truth, justice, integrity, and gratitude. And I am now going to ask that my authentic soul summa pick a card or cards that are appropriate for this reading, that'll benefit you, whoever is listening to this, whenever you listen to it. I'm just shuffling away, and the energy is moving very cleanly. A few snags here and there. Okay. I'm gonna go with this card. Yeah, no cards actually fell out. I had to look and see, but this one was on the edge. It was going to come out, and I'm just going to take that as close enough. Sometimes it's fun to let the card fly out of the deck, and, you know, It's fun. It's fun. And you can take that in multiple different ways too. You know, once a card falls out, if it falls out with 2 or 3 others, you can look at the pattern of how they're laying on top of each other or near each other. If there's any upside down or if there's any that are flipped on their back, you know, you can add that into the reading as well, which is a ton of fun. Oh, thank you, clouds. Okay, now you can see my face for a second here. Okay, so the card is Path. Wander in the path less traveled. What you find might surprise you. And I'll take a picture of this once I'm done and share it for you on the video. So path, wander in the path less traveled. What you find might surprise you. And for anyone who's watching this video, I'm sure that you are that person that is a trailblazer. You know, you're probably the rainbow sheep of the family, right? One way or another. You know, you're probably the person in your family that's there to heal, you know, the family traumas or karma, or, you know, you're here to forge your own path and to do your own things. So take a moment to just feel into what that represents. Wander on the path less traveled. What you find might surprise you. I think that is absolutely beautiful and is always an important message. You're on that path for a reason, and you're not just walking it aimlessly, even if you feel like you are. You know, earlier today, I was hearing someone talking about how God takes you where you need to go. And I started thinking, it's like, well, is it something outside of me? Or is it my authentic soul that is guiding my feet? Take me where I need to go. I mean, I guess no matter how you split it, no matter where you go, there's going to be important codes and intel there for you to utilize. So now we're going to read from the Thistledown Oracle card deck. We're going to see where this goes. And one thing I'm hearing while I'm shuffling the deck here is the feeling I get is all around it's very chaotic. There's a lot of energy moving and shifting, and things are just very aggressive and, you know, fast, very fast paced. I feel like the overall energy of this video, though, is going to be the opposite of that. It's going to be a reminder that the way that the society is made right now is not made for our health and well-being. The way that everything is so fast-paced, the way that there's always so much aggression, this is not how we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be more working with the land. You know, that's one of the healthiest ways the body can function. People take herbs and different medications to help with stress and anxiety. And I think it's important to a degree to be able to cope with the way the society is right now, just because it is the way it is right now. But in all honesty, the way society is right now should be chopped up and tossed into a furnace, just absolutely neutralized, done with, and we should be doing something completely different. So this is and a big robin just flew up right next to me here. I don't quite remember what robin symbolizes, but I do know it's a sign of spring, and we are in spring, so I'll have to look that up later. But when everything around you is hectic, stressful, sometimes even scary, you know, one of the tools that we have is being able to unplug, you know, do the unplugging techniques, really connecting back in with ourselves and saying, I'm not going to let this run my life. I am going to choose how I'm going to respond to this situation. You're taking your power back from the outside world and you're placing it back on yourself, which isn't always easy, but when we do get to do it, it is a beautiful thing. So this next card, it is called Haven. How about that? So I'm going to read the little cheat sheet here. There's 2 little cards, front and back, and they have a quick sentence, or a short phrase on each of these cards. And it is in alphabetical order, so let me find which one. Okay, Haven. Find somewhere safe when all around you is scary. Okay, we're on that. So again, I'll take a picture of that when we're done, and I'll share it on the video so you can see it later. So now let's get onto the Voyager tarot deck. Now, normally I do like to use just my intuition when I'm doing readings. I don't like reading from the books, but with the Voyager tarot deck in particular, with how chaotic it can be, I just might need to use the books. So it's there for a reason, and I might agree with it, I might not. We'll see. So let's see what kind of layout my Suma is saying to do today. And the first picture I'm getting is a triangle, but I feel as though it's supposed to be more of a pyramid. So instead of just picking 3, which would be the triangle, I'm gonna pick 4. And what this is gonna represent is you have the 3 points of the triangle and the base that's going to be connecting all the different sides up to the top. Top, bottom, left, right, front, back, okay. So that's how I feel like it needs to be. 4 different cards. And again, I'm getting pulled to remember to use your tools. If you work with the cryogenetics eggs and the rocks, that's phenomenal. They are my favorite. But there are so many tools out there that you can use to help you take back your power. Because I'm in kind of a nature mode right now, I might even share one of my favorites. And the phone's on low battery. Hopefully you're able to hear that. Basically what I was saying was, I'll show you one of my favorite tools, and I'm gonna make this quick. I just had a sign on my phone saying 20% battery left, even though I had it charging all night. Apparently that doesn't matter. So I'm just going to pick some cards here. I'm going to trust that my Suma will display them correctly and discern them correctly, okay? So, gosh, and every time I look around, I'm just taking in by just all the plants around me. All around me, there's oregano, 3 different types of plantain. There's St. John's wort that's starting to grow, dandelion everywhere. Just absolutely beautiful place. I'm so grateful to be here. This is really like my home away from home. So, okay, so let's do this reading. I'm just going to flip all of the cards around. So I'm hearing, instead of these cards, the side cards being left and right, I'm hearing they're supposed to be like the word that's coming to mind is fortress. They're supposed to be the main part of the structure. They're the walls, right? So that's how we're going to read them, is as the walls. Okay. The bottom one is supposed to be the base. This is the earth element of it. This is the main structure. Okay, sorry, the wind just kicked up and blew all of my cards around, but that's okay. I'll go grab those soon. I do have to grab that one in particular, because that's a part of this particular layout. And then the card on the very top is like the pinnacle. It is the it's the culmination of the structure I'm hearing. It's what pulls all the sides together, and it's the reason for the structure being made, okay? So give me a quick second to grab this, okay? Now, again, these cards are so chaotic. So one of the walls here, we have 14, which is supposed to be the Devil's card. In here it's called Devil's Play. Just so chaotic. So much going on. So, you know, the Devil's card, I hate how it's called the Devil's card because it brings it such a negative connotation, which in a lot of ways, when it's out of balance, it can get very negative. But the overall message of the Devil card is always about temptation. It's about passion. It's about the choices that you make in life and why you're making them. Are you making that choice because of a long-term goal that you're trying to reach, or because of a short-term, just quick gratification? So that's one of the pillars here. One of the pillars here I'm feeling is quite simply about your passion. It is about your drive. It is about what tempts you, what pulls you into reality. And trust your gut on this as well. I'm hearing some of you will have a different perspective on that card, and that's going to work well for this reading. So I am going to pull out the book here. Like I said, I was going to... Okay. So, and I'll probably post pictures of this while I'm reading it too. So, Devil's Play. The two Greek Dionysian players in Devil's Play symbolize the law of celebration, a Dionysian exaltation of life and its hard work. Bedevilments, I've never heard that word, and erotic pleasures. Laugh your fears and sorrows away. I do agree with that. Dance and drink to your success. Drink water or tea. Alcohol's not good for you spiritually, body, whatever. Just no alcohol. Which I have to say, because Dionysus was the god of debauchery. He was always drunk. He was a cannibal. Very nasty entity. Gotta love the Greek gods. They're all pieces of work. There's a reason why none of us, you know, why most of us don't want to work with them. So, dance and drink to your success, for life is a Saturnian harvest. Jeez. Okay, and that is the third time I've heard about the planet Saturn today. Once you have made the wine, drink it. Lift your spirits by passion and play. Recreate yourself through recreation. Through drink, music, and mind-altering activities, become uninhibited and irreverent. In your iconoclasm, broken sanctuary, you will see in a new way and break through Saturnian discipline and social convention. Free yourself and become natural, spontaneous, and original. The shadow or negative side of Devil's Play. Of course, you risk stepping off the edge under the influence of intoxicated madness, stone blind like the dodo bird. You perform misdeeds. Out of ignorance, you are the devil. Watch out. Okay, so, again, a lot going on. So, the part that I would agree with here is about playing, you know. Just because something needs to be done doesn't mean you can't do it with joy, right? Find a way to make even the most grueling tasks joyful and fun, and you'll be able to get through it easily. Don't see it as a terrifying task that is going to consume you, right? Remember that you hold the power, and use your laughter and integrity to shift it, okay? Okay, anyway, the next card here, the next wall, is the Ace of Worlds. Now, there's like 20 different planets here, and one of them is Saturn, okay? So, right now, I'm kind of blanking on a lot of the symbology of Saturn. from an SSP standpoint, from someone who has been through a 20 and back, Saturn is largely symbolic of, the vices that are used to keep us enslaved. Saturn itself, let me just backtrack here. From the SSP standpoint, quite simply, Saturn is one of the controlling systems, right? It is one of the bases that is used for mind control and manipulation. It's also, on the negative side as well, it's also very distracting. On the positive side, because symbols have a negative and positive, symbols themselves are neutral, but they say a million phrases. So on the positive note of Saturn, it can denote a little bit of letting go, a little bit of not taking things so seriously, laughing, playing, and not letting things bog you down, not letting the stress of life or the depression or the fear, not letting it control you, finding a way to laugh at it instead of just being destroyed and crying. Okay? So, Ace of Worlds. I will have to read again from the... I think that was a turkey, from the book, only because I don't remember exactly how this is laid out. I do believe, the world should stand for the element of earth, right? That would make sense. Okay. Yes. So worlds is the physical life. So, okay. Ace of Worlds. Worldly success means being fully established, which is symbolized by the solidity and wholeness of material spheres, such as planets. The planets of our solar system, being interrelated, symbolize the success of having it all together on the material plane, working with what's around you. Now is the time to get it together. Organize, partner, synergize. Make sure you acknowledge the success that you are already. And I agree with that. Acknowledge where you've come from. Look at yourself 5 years ago or even 5 weeks ago and pat yourself on the back for the changes that you make. That's always important. Each planet indicates your success in a particular sphere of worldly life, and its double shows you how to achieve it. Succeed in your financial affairs, Jupiter, through Jupiterian expansion in your work. Saturn, through Saturnian discipline and hard effort. In your social relationships, the Moon, through your emotional sensitivities and communication. In your home, the Earth, by being at home and taking care of it. And your physical health, the Sun, by being sun-like, physically active and exercise for greater energy. And one thing that's popping into my head too is cultivate your energy. Do the hardcore star breathing. Laura Lee and I just made a new really weird shit on steroids. Watch that video. It explains how to do the hardcore star breathing, and that'll help you to cultivate your own inner magic. And that's going to be tremendously beneficial as you do this. Okay. So the next thing is the base. The base. What is the structure? What is the structure of the structure, right? The base of the structure. And we have 8 of crystals. Okay. Wow, I really am pulling to the book quite a bit here today, but that's totally fine. Again, that's why it's here. Okay, and hopefully my phone won't die on me. I hope. Okay, so we have 8 of crystals. And the key word here is synthesis. The multifaceted nature of the crystal symbolizes the versatility of your mind. Like the integrated structure of the crystal, you were able to synthesize diverse ideas and mental qualities. The center crystal represents the corpus callosum, the brain tissue that connects the right brain creativity and the left brain reasoning. Be both artistic and scientific, poetic and logical. You are endowed with mental harmony, balance, and evenness. So what a great base, right? The base is self-balance, balancing left and right hemisphere of the brain. You can do that through bilateral motion of any kind, like drawing a figure 8 in front of you and you're watching it with your eyes, or, if you keep your head still, and you just watch it with your eyes as you do it, that'll activate and bring together both the left and right hemisphere. They don't inherently work as one. They're two separate spheres, but when you bring them into balance, they work together, okay? So that's one of the key phrases here, right, is working together, synergize. Work with what you have, right? Work with where you're at, and I would say really trust that your Suma has already walked you through what you need to be through right now to give you the codes you need to move forward, okay? That was a lot. Okay. Now, the main pinnacle of this, the tip of this structure does have to do with the Hermit card. Hermit is always one of my favorite cards. That symbolizes me to a T, honestly, because, the Hermit card is about taking time on your own to learn yourself, as well as to learn about the world around you. The Hermit card normally has a lot of books in the background. It normally has shelves, a huge library. In the in one of the newer tarot decks that I bought, I really like the symbology in that one because it is this dragon sitting on top of a lantern in the middle of a dark cave with the stars in the background. It really symbolizes, finding you. It symbolizes, learning about yourself. And that is one of the main tenets of learning how to do authentic magic. You have to know why you're doing what you're doing, when you're doing it, and why, and who for. Not out of judgment, not out of being mean to yourself, but because you really need to understand your motives. You need to understand your drive and why you're choosing to do what you're doing. And I feel like that is the overall message of this tarot layout. The whole, the base is all about knowing that you have limitless potential, let's say. It's about knowing that you're capable of anything and knowing that you can balance the left and right hemisphere of the brain, which is also balancing the head and the loins with the heart core star, right? It's bringing together all of the parts of you. It's about finding true inner balance. One wall has to do with your passions, your what distracts you, and then the other wall has to do with working with what's around you, working with what you have to create success. And then the pinnacle is about the hermit, learning yourself. And in every ancient mystery school, including even the prophet of Dionysus, can't remember the name right now, but I know I'm running out of time. But the Oracle of Delphi, that's what it is. Even like in the archway heading to the Oracle of Delphi, once you land on that island, right, there was a sign that says know yourself. That was a part of it. There was this was that all that it was? I don't remember if that was the only phrase or if there were other phrases that went along with it, or if there was like a poem or something, but that was the crux of it, was know yourself. Oh, Robin. You cannot achieve true success without knowing yourself. It's a part of authenticity, and it's not a fun path to be trailing on, but it's your path. And quite honestly, you can't avoid it. You can either try to ignore it and, be dragged by the ear, or you can start to acknowledge it and work with it. So that is the end of the reading for today. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Let me know in the comments section if you liked this reading, if there's anything that you would add into any of the cards, or let me know if it made sense to you. More robins. And in the description below, if I remember to, I will, I'll either put this in the description or I'll put it at the end of the video as another picture. But I'm going to try to remember to look up the representation of Robin to have it there. Part of the reason why I liked having the elder bush behind me, the elderberry tree, is it's an elder. It's an elder. It's very protective. It's very wise. And it's highly medicinal as well, So that's it for the reading today. I can chat for forever, but my phone's going to die soon. So enjoy and get out there. Get out there and take back your power and laugh. laugh, okay? So one technique I wanted to show you guys today, I talked about this earlier in the video, is a very simple energetic technique. I like to use this with the cryogenetics eggs when I remember to. Honestly, I normally just use the eggs because they do everything, so it's kind of a hit all. But what you do in this exercise is you put your arm out in front of you, right, with the palm facing towards you. Once you get there, you imagine a beautiful rose right there, okay? It can be any color, it can be any size, but just simply a single rose. It can have leaves, thorns, whatever. Don't judge it, and, you know, just pay attention to whatever presents itself, because sometimes that'll also have symbology for what's going on or what the rose needs to do. But that rose is going to be very alchemical. For one, any negativity that comes your way is going to get neutralized by that rose. And depending on how bad it is, it can kill that rose. So you might need to tell it to poof and disappear and dissipate and neutralize, and then put a new one in its place. I would put a new one in its place first, unless you're using the eggs, because they'll protect you. But what this does is everything from that rose to you is your business. That is your responsibility. It's what you have control over. Everything else outside, anything behind the rose or anywhere else, has nothing to do with you unless you choose it to. So utilize that, play around with it, and see what you think. And ta-ta for now. Thank you, everyone.